What's up, y'all? It's Nate Almighty, and I'm back with a Rikers Island story. And this is an instruction manual for those of you who you just want to know how to survive in prison / Rikers Island, right? Any jail. And for some of the rest of y'all, you may be fighting a charge right now, and you may be in a predicament where this kind of information will help keep you safe and alive. And you need the kind of information that I will thus forward be giving to you, okay? I know a lot of people, they're like, hey, why are you doing this, making this kind of content? You're glorifying this, that, and the third. And I would like to say that you can suck my eggplant, because I'm not glorifying anything. I'm simply giving information. I'm talking about my life, right? And I would hope to scare people with these stories from going to jail or prison anyway, right? So this will be how to survive being a neutral among savage, vicious gang members, okay? Now, as you can see, I got my specs on. I got my bifocal game going, right? These lovely glasses that I stole out of the Family Dollar, right? Because I'm farsighted. And I got some notes to read. This is why I have these glasses on. And I'm going to tell you the 9 or 10 ways, if I made a mistake with these notes, right, of how to survive being a neutral amongst savage, vicious gang members. How to survive and maintain your respect, because you can survive and still be like a bitch and not have no respect and get slapped around and extorted and stuff like that. And is that really surviving? Or are you kind of just like there going through the motions? We're talking about maintaining respect, right? And having a chance while being neutral. And we know when you go to prison, a lot of times you got to pick a card to ride with, right? But I'm saying if you don't want to do that, right? Now, disclaimer, this will not work in every place that you go to. In some places, it may be harder to move around and maintain your safety and respect while not being in the game, right? That's where you have the option to go Muslim, but I would suggest you turn Muslim because you really believe in Allah and His teachings. If you doing it just because you scared and you want to be safe, I mean, like, come on now. You're a herd. Can't respect that. That's not manly. You know what I'm saying? But if this applies and you can make it work, use it. Starting with number 1. Don't come in with any charges for crimes against women, kids, or old people, okay? Women, kids, old people. You'll be fooled. You'll be fooled. Even if you was in a gang and you joined the gang, right? You may be in a diabolical place where they like, okay, you like to do things to kids and women? Let me do something to your booty. Not even let me. I'm going to do this to your booty, right? You gonna put the mushroom tip in your mouth. You're going to suck it all manly good. I guess that's what they say. I don't know. I wasn't exposed to these kind of things in prison. I just know from stories of what I heard from people who've been there, and I know from what I seen when I was in green, the direction it could go. I didn't say it wasn't happening when I was there. I said I wasn't around, right? But you'll be in a gang and they'll still be extorting you out your booty and your mouth, right? Your 2 holes, right? Mess around and have you in the cell on your knees and they slapping it on your face. Don't go to prison. Right? That's what they do to people who got problems against women, kids, and old people, bro. It's like they have no remorse for taking your booty. Number 2 though, right? Don't gamble. Not everybody's gonna listen to this. But don't gamble, because when you gamble, you put yourself in a predicament where they have this thing called ass betting, right? Ass betting is when you make a bet but the thing that you bet you actually don't have, you may be counting on it to come. And think about it, if you in jail, right? You counting on your mother or your girl to give you that money on the first, right? You counting on it. It ain't a guarantee it's gonna come, right? So now you giving people deadlines and all this other shit, right? That'll put you in a messed up situation, man. Like, and you can end up just getting beat up, just getting all your stuff took, or you can end up with your face sliced or stabbed, or you have to pay what you owe back in booty meat, right? Listen, man. Listen. I was in the medium. I wasn't in the maximum. The real booty stuff happens in prisons that are not New York. From all the information I've gathered, right? Most of the booty stuff happens in out of New York places, right? I'm not gonna name any states because people get sensitive, but y'all know y'all state. You know what I'm saying? I'll say one, Louisiana, okay? I'll say one because everybody knows this already. Everybody knows this, right? But anyway, shout out to Louisiana, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with y'all, but you know, y'all play a lot of booty stuff. Y'all play a lot of booty games. Like, I don't, in prison. Not the dudes out in the street. I'm talking about like in prison. Like booty is capital in Louisiana or something. Like, it's like booty is more important in Louisiana prisons than air. Like, I don't get it. Like, all things I've heard, crazy, right? But don't gamble. Don't borrow money. It's the same thing as gambling, man. Either way, you're going to owe more than what they gave you. And if you don't have it on time, you could end up paying it back with your dignity, right? And I'm going to leave it at that because I already said a lot for the first three things, right? Number 4, right? Be ready to make an example out of anyone. And at the same time, choose your battles wisely, right? Like, you could be a renegade, but the more risks you take, the more opportunities you have to offend somebody who's really not going to let it go. Or somebody who really has the power to really have something seriously bad done to you. And if you neutral, that means you have less people that have your back because most people in there are in a gang. So now, say you're black now and you're neutral. There's Muslims, Bloods, Crips, you know what I mean? GDs, BDs, all those things. And if you're none of those things, and you get into a confrontation with somebody who's in a gang, you always risk other people in that gang coming after you. Always. You always risk that. And if you ain't in a gang where they'll have your back, these are the risks that you take. So it's like, you got to choose your battles wisely, okay? But at the same time, you still have to battle. There is no, I'm never going to have to do anything. I'm never going to have to hurt nobody. Listen, if you ain't want to be in this predicament, you shouldn't have put yourself in a position to go to prison, because now you got to deal with it, right? Right? But next one. Number 4, don't get involved in the drug trade unless you're prepared to defend your business against thirsty gangbangers. I'm gonna be real with you, right? Right? There's strength in numbers. How successful do you plan to be, right? Selling drugs in prison. And you have a whole bunch of people with strength in numbers and more clout than you. And some of them are going to be tougher than you and braver than you, right? What do you do against a gang member who is in a leadership role and he don't have no support at home? There's nobody coming to visit him. There's nobody putting money in his books. He has no choice but to take. And before they take from their own, they take it from people who ain't their own. And before they take from someone who's a threat, like the Trinitarios, Latin Kings, or any other rival gang, right? They're going to take from somebody who has less backup. That would be you being a neutral person. So don't even do it. Don't even do it, right? Number 6, stay out of gang folk business. You might get cool with some of these gang people, and occasionally they may say things around you that they're really not supposed to say, but they comfortable enough around you to say certain things. You need to act like you never heard such things. There should never be a time where you're bringing up a gang-related thing that they said to them or anyone else later on in the future. That's just plain street smarts. That's something that you should have learned about, knowing how to read the room and all that, before you even decided to go into the streets. If you didn't learn that before you got into the streets and got to prison, something very bad is going to happen to you before you get home, because you had important life-saving lessons that you were supposed to learn that you didn't learn. You feel me? Next, right? Number 7, resist peer pressure to join the gang. If you really don't want to join the gang, stand on business. But I guess if you're scared and you feel like you need more protection, go ahead then, I guess, you know. But if they feel like that's why you joining, they're going to exploit that. They're going to exploit that. And I don't feel like there's nothing else I need to say on that one. Number 8, as we head to the end of this, don't be too friendly with anyone for any reason. Remain stoic as much as possible. You don't know these people. You would have to watch people who you knew from out in the town in a lot of situations in prison and in jail. So people who you don't know, and y'all know for a fact once y'all get home, y'all have no intention of even seeing each other. He from a whole nother town. Or if you in New York, he from a whole nother borough. Like, come on now. There was many times where I was in a specific unit and I'm cool with dudes, and for whatever reason, y'all gotta separate. You getting moved somewhere, they getting moved somewhere, going to the box or something. Y'all exchange information. Y'all might kite each other a couple times while y'all both still locked up. But in all due reality, y'all have no intentions on linking with each other, man. I've linked with 2, maybe 3 people I've been locked up with. 2, maybe 3. And one of them was from Harlem. 2 of them was from the Bronx. These was my boy VC, rest in peace VC from Forest. My other boy Gizzy Blood. That's my boy, right? Those are my boys, right? And another guy whose name I forgot, because I seen him right after I came home. We never hung out again, right? And I'm cool with other people who I was locked up with, but I didn't rush to link with them like King Goonie. He was called King Goonie back in the day. That's my boy. We not rushing to link with each other. That's just how it is when you in jail. Like that's the type of situation where it's like, since y'all was cool like that in jail, you hit them up when you in the area. But it ain't y'all acting like day ones and I have to see you. It's like, I'm glad you home, my brother. You know what I mean? And you stay solid, man. It's always love. You feel me? Like, it's that type of situation. But don't make friends because you can't trust them. They could cross you at any moment. Especially when things like, you know, clout and respect and honor, and you don't know who you talking to that's looking for opportunity to, you know what I mean, cross somebody over to get cool with somebody else. So you don't know, like, you're neutral. Like, if somebody's having a gang initiation, they may say, hey, yo, do something to the neutral dude. Like, all these things are possible. It don't happen all the time, but it's possible, and they do happen, right? And then we have number 9, right, which is respect the gang politics of the place you're in, long as it doesn't compromise your integrity as a man, right? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Respect the gang politics. Respect it. Now, if you want to be disruptive, because you want to be disruptive, you know? But as long as their gang politics doesn't compromise your integrity, doesn't mean as long as it don't stop you from being able to call your family, as long as they're not trying to extort you, things like that, then it's like, all right, cool, that's what the Bloods doing, that's what the Crips doing, whatever. If it comes to where it's compromising your integrity, then you have to do something. But I'm gonna end that here. These were my 9 tips on how to survive being a neutral amongst savage gangbangers. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace.